everybody in. We've got a lot going on, weather-wise, heat-wise, all around us. Tonight, we will be talking about heat illness, what it means, what's happening, and what you're supposed to do about it. I have done my homework. Let me dig it out here. So I'm going to be reading a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, it's from the National Weather. Got a whole bunch of paperwork here. The do's and don'ts, what you're supposed to be looking for, what you're not supposed to do, what you do in case you come across somebody that has it, heat illness. So give everybody a chance to pop in real quick. I'm going to jump in the stream so I can check things out. Very cool. I hope you can hear. Yep, I can hear myself, so that's a good thing. I've got my phone, so I'm in the chat. If you're in the stream, throw me a thumbs up. Let me know you're in the chat. So, if you want to see what the fire, it has been raining so much. Not a lot of, I mean, not like it's, we've had some really bad storms, but we've had just enough rain to where the wood is really wet, and it's been humid. It was 98 today. It felt like 103 earlier. The sound alarm is going to go off because the boys are coming back with food. And there they are. And so the fire is not the best fire we've had. It is burning, trust me. I'll flip you around so you can see what's going on. So there's our beautiful little fire. It's a hot little fire. Like I said, it's 90 plus degrees. I got some fun things to share with you tonight. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. It is a Tuesday night here in Arkansas, as it should be everywhere if you're tuning in. We've got a lot going on. But I gotta watch things because it is very humid out here, guys. It's like feels like 98 out here. Hopefully, when the sun really goes down, it starts getting a little darker. It might accidentally cool off just a little bit. So if you hear something flapping in the breeze, because I got the papers just blowing on me because it's stifling. So what you're hearing in the background, yeah, the sound alarm. The alarm system is working. The boys just pulled up with a bunch of food. Yeah, we got us a new Whataburger in town. They just opened up like last week or whenever, and we're eating Whataburger tonight. Go inside. And I know this is a vertical stream as opposed to normally horizontal. I did that one other time, and it actually seemed to work really good. I thought it was really, it just was something different that you can do, streaming and stuff and all of that fun things. So if you're just joining us, welcome in. Great to have everybody here. We are Wind Dance Media. This is what we call a fireside chat. Tonight's talk, we will be talking about heat exposure and stuff like that. And I'm going to give you a break in about 3 seconds. There's going to be a C-130 fly overhead, and you will not hear me. So let's see. I'm not sure if I can catch them on this side. There's the C-130. That's what you're hearing. So yeah, we get to deal with them all night tonight. They're flying high and proud. Compliments the United States Air Force, based out of Little Rock. So if everybody could do me a favor, all two of you that are in here, if you could smash that like and subscribe button for me, or that like button, join us in chat. Um, Not even sure I've got subscribers on. I don't think I do. I know I got monetization on. I gotta have that. Um, let's see. But yeah, smash that like, subscribe, jump into chat, say hey, howdy. We'll get things kicking off. It's early yet. There's a lot of people still out streaming. They've been chasing out west, and that. So, um, what, they screwed up? They forgot one burger and screwed them all. Oh, nice. Well, they're new. All right. Um, yeah, messed up our order. But yeah, so we've got a cool night. Welcome in, everybody. It's a Tuesday night. It's a very hot night in June. Not hotter than the 4th of July, but it is warm. Um, got a cool topic. Actually, one of my moderators gave me the idea, and I thought it was very appropriate going into the hottest part of the summer. We're going to be talking about heat exposure and what. I'm gonna flip this around. And this is what I look like. My ugly mug. I am a storm chaser, so yeah, cut me some slack. I'm old. But we're going to talk about heat exposure, what that really means to you and to me, um, the do's and don'ts of what to do if you're experiencing it, what not to do if you're experiencing it, what you can do for others that might, be going through it. Share some stories, and after that, hey, it's open mic. Feel free to jump into the chat, and we'll talk about whatever. But first, just wanted to open up. We're going to be talking about that, and I am not sure what just happened to my stream. What just happened? Sorry, I was in the chat. I was. Whoa. All right. Astra, I'll let that one slide. I know I don't have any moderators in here, but I can moderate. I am in the chat. I'm paying attention here. Toilet roost. Yeah, this is you're good. You're good. I'm not going to ding you yet. Just remember there are kids that get in here. This is a family deal for the most part, and more than welcome to hang out with us. But keep it to a minimum. We're good. And I'm going to be playing Fire Dog. Sorry, the smoke is coming right at me. So, anyways, all right, I'm going to go tend the fire. Throw some more low on the fire. Ooh, that's hot. Skibidity, toilet, riz, tongue. Sahura emoji fart and foot fetish. Whatever. New to me. Normally, that would get timed out, and normally, that would get you waxed. Not tonight, because it's open mic. As long as it's kept to them, pretty simple stuff. Pretty simple stuff. But I want to welcome everybody in. Smash that like and subscribe button. Jump in the chat. Say hey. Say hey. So keep the camera on me for now until it gets dark, and then we'll throw it over to the fire, because you won't be able to really see me, and I'll look like I'm wearing red glow. You'll see the red glow. But fire itself, I'm surprised we were able to get it going. The boys got it going for me about 2 hours ago. The wood is just so saturated right now with the humidity and that, it really doesn't want to burn like it should to be a good fire. But I think over time, I think we'll get one going. Great to have everybody here joining us. Do a thing over to my mods and let them know. I shot them a text, say, hey, we're live. We're live. Hopefully we get some more folks in here, because I really do want to talk about this, and it'd be a lot of fun to have everybody's interaction and that. But we'll see what happens. See what happens. May or may not. It's like the first time on a Wednesday. I think I've done one. Maybe not. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've actually done a fireside chat. I know. Like I said, we've had a lot of rain, a lot of excessive rain. We've had flooding, flash flooding, and so, just is what it is. We just do what we can do, and we go from there. But if you're just joining us, we are Wind Dancer Media. We do fireside chats when we're not chasing. We are storm chasers, Tammy and I. And we just haven't had a whole lot to chase lately. We've had some really beautiful thunderstorms, and I got a lot of beautiful pictures. Just really nothing that you can jump out and just go chase, not tornadic or anything like that. We are supposed to get some weather tonight, late night, early morning. If we're still live and the thunderstorms get rolling, we may go watch some lightning later. Don't know. I'm keeping an eye on things, because the Air Force is still running their jets and that. So kind of always, I'm always to the sky anyway. So, but yeah. But tonight we're going to be talking about excessive heat and what it can do to your body. And the thing is most people really don't pay attention to it. It is a silent killer in the United States. It very seldom ever hits the news. It very seldom is even just talked about. If you live in the South, if you live in Arizona, obviously in the desert lands, Arizona, Nevada, Southern California, you might talk about it. I know in Arizona they talk about it a whole lot, just because it is so hot. But there's a lot more to it than just the heat. You can be out on an 80-degree day and experience heat exhaustion. It's just where your body is. And sorry, the smoke is really in my eyes right now. Oh, all right. I'm going to turn around until the wind changes. You can see what I'm looking at. Smoke. Ugh, killer. Icky stuff. But, I'm just waiting for folks to get in here. It does take a little bit of time sometimes. Usually these streams are very, very low profile, low key. Um, not much happening right now. I'm just killing time, just trying to get away from the smoke because the wind shifted a little bit, which is a good thing because getting that fire going is nice. Um, People will start showing up probably around 9 o'clock. There's a whole mess of chasers that I know are still streaming. Um, that I know of. Let's see, Jacob's still out there. Max is still on. As long as those guys, Sky Ops, PA Storm Trackers. Yeah, there's Page. Yeah, all those guys went, and I don't know when they're gonna end their streams. So as soon as they end their streams, we'll probably pick up a few more folks. So I'm holding off for a little bit, but feel free to jump in the chat. Say hey, it's all good. This is our 29th, by the way. This is our 29th uh, fireside chat that we've had since we've actually started. So we've done quite a few of them. Um, some of them are better, some of them are not so good. You never know what's going to happen. We stay up late as everybody wants. It gets crazy after dark. I already know that. Um, Depends on what's going on. We got a lot to talk about, actually. Not just about the heat. We're going to be talking about there are some things that are going on in our world that we really need to address, and I think people really need to pay attention and wake up to. Um, Not going to go into great detail right now about that, but I think that people need to know what's going on around them, and but anyways, welcome in everybody. If you're just joining us, this is a fireside chat. Just waiting on folks to come in. We've got a C-130 about to fly over our head here in about 5 seconds, so it's going to get noisy. You won't hear me. Hey, kitten lover. It has, yes, I agree. It has been a while. You're about to hear a C-130 go over, so if I get quiet, you're going to hear that thing. That was C-130, compliments United States Air Force, based in Little Rock. They fly right over my house. So you get, I think the last one we did, we actually, I count them in and we'd watch them. It was kind of cool because they were going a lot. And gosh dang, why do I keep getting kicked out? But anyway, hey, kitten lover, great to have you here. Glad you're joining in tonight. I think I hope it's an interesting subject. I think it's one subject that is never honestly talked about, and I don't think it's talked about enough. About to get noisy. Probably the my alarm system's about to go off. Maybe not. Nah. Um, and we're coming into the season of uh, heat, humidity, excessive heat, and I think that people don't realize how nasty heat illness really is. I think it's just not talked about at all. I mean, we talk about it at work. Obviously, we're in the South. Even at work, I'm going around and I'm telling everybody to uh, stay hydrated. You want to stay hydrated. That's the key. The key to the whole thing about heat illness is if you know it's going to be hot and and pay attention to your local weather channel and that news. I mean, they're going to tell you, hey, it's going to be hot tomorrow. Make sure you're hydrated. I know they do that. The trick is if you start hydrating a day or so ahead of time, you'll stay hydrated. Um, I've got some notes I'm gonna get out here in just a minute, but I have just to go ahead and get started because we've been already 20 minutes and we've got two people here, 4 likes. It's awesome. Um, one of the the things is I have had I was very close to having a heat stroke. I was uh, in a heat illness. It wasn't heat stroke. It was something totally. I mean, it was along the same lines, but it was very different. Um, I almost stroked out. I'll leave it at that. But what happened was I was not prepared. I was not prepared for the 80 plus degrees with a 80% plus humidity level on a river in Kentucky on a roof that was already 100 degrees on the roof at 10 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, welcome in. And what happened with me could happen to anybody. It still affects me today in the heat. I know the signs. I know when I'm overheating. And a lot of times what happens is we just don't want to stop what we're doing to get into the air conditioning. And we got to keep going and we got to keep pushing. No. Cannot stress that enough. So what happened with me at, I had to be at work at 7. By 9 o'clock. Hey, Crystal. Yeah, you like that, Crystal? I was up on the roof and I was hot. I mean, I was kind of sweating to begin with. And I went over to get some water out of the water jug and they put ice in it. And hey, Royson, welcome in. And I took a glass of water and I drank it. I took another glass of water and I drank it. And I couldn't. Yeah, it'll look. You got to get used to it. Um, and I couldn't drink enough water. Well, because I was already I was in the kind of the middle to later stages of actually having heat illness. Um, Water wasn't going to help me at all. I thought it would cool me down. It didn't. I took about 4 steps. My vision, literally, I was looking through a peephole. All right. I'm gonna flip around. And I mean, I'm talking like a peephole, like through your door, keyhole. And I just kind of went to my knees, and I had like nobody around me. I was on a roof. I wasn't by myself. I mean, we had a full crew, but I had to figure out what was going on. I was disorientated. Um, my vision obviously was not there. I was slurring my words. I was just, not really all I wanted to do was go to sleep, which I knew at that point when I was up on the roof. I decided I needed to get off of that roof, and there was nobody around. Nobody said, "Hey, what's going on?" Da 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 da. And I couldn't holler. I mean, my throat was dry. I just couldn't drink enough water, and I had to crawl. I got myself up. I kind of staggered, got myself to the manhole off the roof. But once I got down, I had to actually go and crawl down another flight of stairs. And C-130. And I finally, after about 20 minutes of crawling, um, I'm not going there, man. Thank you. Is there a table around here somewhere? And once I finally got down to the air conditioner, all I wanted to do was sleep. All right, gonna get noisy because this guy's coming in hot and heavy. I got a C-130 about to blow over top of us. Crystal, it's open mic. We might get into that a little later. Got another one going over. They fly in pairs, sometimes threes. All right, if you keep that up right now, I will fix things. Anyway, good to have you. All right. You guys are going to force me to do this. I'm not going to put up with a bunch of garbage on my stream. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, I'm not here to talk about who's who and freeing who. I live in America. I have my views, and you probably would not like them. So before we continue, I'm going to take a break. And that is a cool bug. Come on. Yeah, you guys about to get waxed. All right, Crystal, do your thing. Hey, Patrick. Yeah, I've got them. This is not going to let me do it on this way. All right. Yeah, you can start modding, Crystal. I'm not going to put up with the crap on this channel tonight. Um, I'm trying to get it to where I can fix that. I was trying to be nice to everybody and open it up to the general public, but apparently apparently they don't want that. So we're going to do it this way. I'm going to go to subscribers. And now that'll take care of a lot of that. A lot of these folks won't subscribe. There. That'll take care of a lot of it. They're just in here dinking around and I ain't going to put up with it. They're interruption. So They're fixed. Nah, we got it under control. I'm actually in the chat. Um, I got Crystal. She's good. We're good. We're good. Yeah, nothing but a bunch of troll. No, Sean, I have not. I do not watch those nice, good, scary things. Yeah, yeah, no, there ain't gonna be nothing. We got a little bit of storm coming in tonight. I think that'll be about all. But anyway, I want to get back to my thing. So I was on back to my heat illness that I was experiencing 20 plus years ago that's still affecting me today. So I was on the roof and I got myself, down to the air conditioning area, and I was gone about 45 minutes. The one thing that I was trained to do and I've learned to do is when you're in a situation like that, you want to go through, who you are, what day is it, what state do you live in, what's your address, what's your phone number, anything that you can remember to keep you awake. You do not want to fall asleep. I will repeat that. You do not want to fall asleep, because if you fall asleep, what's going to happen is your body will go into shock and seizure, and you'll have a seizure, and it more than likely will kill you. And so I was going through all of that, and and we so I know I dozed, but I wake up and I'll get myself back, and okay, I'm good. I kind of pinch me, flex, get going. And after about 45 minutes, man, I was golden. I was ready to get back to work. We had a lot to get done, and I got back up on the roof. I'll flip this around while we still got a little bit of daylight, and got back on the roof, and I immediately went right back to where I was, and I knew I was in trouble at that point. And I looked at my foreman, and he goes, "What's wrong with you?" And I said, "I know what's going on. You're probably not going to like me, but I'm going home." Um, I I told him what had happened. He goes, "Yeah, go do what you need to do. Go to the doctor if you need to." Not one time did he offer. And of course, you got to realize this is back in the late '80s, early '90s. So they really didn't know what to do. Fortunately enough, I did. Probably saved my own life. And it's very important to this day. Me being in the heat, I still remember that, and I still go through that, and I still play that in my mind. That's why I'm doing it tonight, because I want everybody to understand what heat illness really is. There's two different things here: heat illness and heat stroke. Two totally different things combined together. They're bad, 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 bad. But to this day, I still can't be in the heat. It drains me. I want to sleep. It affects it once you've had that, and you've had that. Um, you just don't do heat very well. You can be in it for a little while. Um, you just aren't going to last. You're going to wilt on the vine, so to speak. But I've got some stuff. You can go to the National Weather Service. That's what I'm reading off of their paperwork. These are free things that you can look up. Um, I wanted to really touch on severe weather, severe heat. Arizona right now, 102, going to be up to 112 if I'm not mistaken. Alaska just had their first heat advisory ever known to mankind in Alaska. Go figure. Fairbanks. 88 degrees. That may not sound like a lot, but up there, it might as well be 120. All right. They're not used to it. They're not used to it. The thing is about different heat areas. Arizona, it gets 110 easy. Easy. I've been in it. I know what it's about. It's killer. It was 98 today and felt like 105. That's the heat index. And we can get into that a little bit more. But you have all these different areas. Heat related illness happens around not just the United States, around the world actually. Um, More specifically here in the United States, it is a silent killer. It People don't talk about it, so to speak. You never really hear about it on the news. Hey, Marcy, man, you just missed all the fun, man. We had about 10 trolls in here. It was kind of cool. Got to kick them all out. See, change a few settings. I was trying to be nice, open it up to everybody, and they wanted to jump in and talk about something. We might talk about it, but we're not going to right now. And heat illness. Marcy can vouch. She lives in Arizona. I know Crystal. I think you live in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. I don't know. I know Marcy does. And yeah, we had a bunch of yeah. I thought you were Crystal. Um, we're talking about heat. Yeah, we had a bunch of trolls in earlier, just before you popped in. It's like, yeah, I was going to give you a chance, and then you started going off the hook, and we're not there yet. We're not going to be talking about that. Although we are going to be talking about that, but I'm not going to talk about that with a bunch of trolls. Um, and they didn't want to listen, so I just put it on subscriber for a minute. Who cares? Yeah, excessive heat warning. This idea, I'm going to tell y'all. Marcy is the one that brought this up to me, and I was like, man, that's a good idea, because believe it or not, Arizona records. I looked it up. You can look it up yourself. It's all on the internet. Arizona records the most. Yeah, I like them too, Rick. Arizona actually records the most heat-related deaths in the United States. Even though they say they're trending down, the number I'm about to give you, and I read this today, and I just about fell out of my chair because it's just they had 650 deaths in Maricopa County, Arizona, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Phoenix. Mostly due to the homeless population, but still, 650 plus deaths in a year's time is 650 deaths too many, way too many. Heat illness, I've been at work. I've had people fall out, and we run them back into the air conditioning, and we get them iced down and that. Hey, Doug. Yeah, he did. So did Stormrunner Media. They were with them pretty much. Connor was on one side of the tornado, and Stormrunner Media was on the other, and Freddie and the whole gang. But I'm gonna have to get some bug juice on, get me eat up. But I wanna really talk about heat safety. I know this is a dry subject, but it's important. If you're out there and you're mowing your yard, because this has happened to me, I want to get my yard mowed, right? And it's hot, it's humid, you're sticky, and you're sweating, so you don't pay any bit of attention to it until it hits you. And you're going to hit a brick wall, and you go, oh my God, I can't see, I need to get, and you're, out in the middle of your yard, and chances are you may not make it. Straight up. So what I'm gonna tell you is I'm gonna read all of this, This actually is a paper that I printed off from work. It's heat safety backwards, but it's heat safety from the National Weather Service. It's got a front and a back. It's actually two different pamphlets. I just printed it on both sides, um, and talks about heat safety, the do's and don'ts, what to do and what not to do, warnings versus watches, excessive heat, America's deadliest weather. So first thing you want to do is you obviously want to drink water. Now, there is some debate out there: ice water versus tap water. For me, it's a no-brainer. Tap water, not not hot water. Tap water, cool tap water. Um, Ice water will tend to cause you to go into deeper illness. Will cause things to happen that you just don't want to have happen. Now think about it. Now I want you to follow this because I actually learned this from another friend of mine a long time ago. So what happens when you drink ice water? Does your body instantly cool down? Think about your core temperature. We're not talking about thirst or anything like that. We're talking core body temperature. Okay, 96.5, maybe, if I'm correct. That was a weird looking bug. I got a really cool looking bug down here too. Core temperature. Ice water will not cool you down. Ice water, what it does is it feels good going down, but it's not going to, your body temperature is what is affected by heat illness. It has nothing to do with your stomach or anything like that. It's your core temperature. So, I say this for a reason because if you drink cool room temperature water, what's going to happen if that's all you've got? What's going to happen is your body temperature will actually cool itself by that. You will get hydrated faster. You will come out of that your core temperature actually will go down a lot quicker than with ice water. Don't get me wrong. I like my iced tea. I like my ice waters sometimes. My ices, things like that. You want to. The thing is, you want to get cooled off as fast as you can. Core temperature. You want to, they make these rags now, the cooling rags. They work for about 10 minutes until they dry out, especially when it's humid outside. I got bugs eating me up, guys. Sorry, my fire's about to go out. But hey, Brady, welcome in. Good to have everybody here. Yeah, see, you got rid of the rift raft. Everybody jumping in. But you want to drink that. Also, another key thing is if you know it's going to be hot the next day, start drinking water the night before or the day before. Get yourself, hydrated up before, because then you'll sweat. Sweating is a natural way that your body cools itself. When you find that you're hot and you're not sweating, you're in trouble already. And yep, pickles are a great hydrator. There's a whole list of things that you can do to actually stay hydrated. So I'm going to read this while I still got daylight. Keep the bugs off. Slow down, reduce, eliminate, or reschedule strenuous activities until the coolest time of the day. Now that's usually in the afternoon. Yep, I'm losing daylight, and I ain't got a light on this, so I'm going to turn you over to the fire. You can just listen to me ramble. All right. Chill. Yeah. That was a cat in my lap. Sorry, that was claws in my leg. Children, seniors, anyone with health concerns should stay in the coolest available place. In other words, your house. Air conditioning, that's where they stay. They don't go outside. They don't go playing around. Da 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 da. Okay. Definitely do not take them and leave them in a car. Um, I would be very upset. Very, very upset. Dress for summer. Cool, cool colors, lightweight stuff. They make shirts now that are actually breathable. Um, you know, plan for it. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Eat light foods. Don't go out and eat a big old heavy burger or a big old steak, although that's good. Um, light foods. Salads are awesome because they'll actually cool you down and keep you hydrated. Watermelon, stuff like that. That's what you want to do here. Drink plenty of water, not very cold. That's coming straight up from off this paper. So you don't want it very cold. You can have it cool, but you don't want it ice cold. Okay. Um, Pay attention to what your doctor says, especially if you're on a liquid. You can't drink a lot of liquids or what have you. Pay attention, doctor. Ask them. Find out what you can't do. Uh, Air conditioners obviously use portable electric fans. If you don't have anything else and that's all you got, man, put one on you. At least you got some air circulation. It will cool you off eventually. Um, it's hot out here right now. Minimize direct exposure to the sun. The sun is what does you in. Sunburns, obviously, you're cooking your body. Might as well put yourself on the rotisserie and just sit out there and slather yourself up for that awesome suntan that you're looking for. However, even playing out in the water on an 80-degree day, you can still get heat sickness. All right. Yeah, only beer. Yeah. Problem is, you're not supposed to drink alcohol on a hot day. About to get there. Um, do not take salt tablets. You can actually overdose on salt, which is not good for your body. It says so right here. I'm looking at it. If you want to find this is at the National Weather Service. Go to the info. You can look it up at weather.gov/safety/heat. That's where I picked this up at. Go look at it for yourself. I'm not feeding you a bunch of crap. I want everybody to be safe, especially in the coming months, especially you folks down in Arizona. I know you guys go through it. It seems like every year and that. And you can get on their website if you really want some more tips. Warnings versus a watch. Excessive heat watch means you need to pay attention. All right, means it's likely going to happen. Means that pay attention, prepare your body, prepare your loved ones, get them, hydrated. Don't sit there and drink, like a gallon of water. That'll kill you. You want to drink small amounts over a period of time. I'll sit and drink a bottle of water in about 15 minutes. But you want to drink a bottle of water about every 2 hours ish. It's going to be all right, especially if you're out sweating. You're going to sweat it all out. All you're doing is replenishing your system at that point. Heat warning, and I've got to get so I can read this. It says an excessive heat warning, sometimes preceded by an excessive heat watch, is typically issued within 1 to 3 days of the onset of extremely dangerous heat conditions and remains in effect until the extreme danger subsides. Currently is high, or certainly is high, that the event will occur. Pay attention to those watches and warnings. They might save your life. We're actually in an excessive heat warning, I believe, for the next couple of days. It is supposed to get brutal here, guys. We're going to be in the 90s. It's supposed to get heat index up to 105 plus, probably higher than that. Yeah, yeah. Your guys is until Friday. I think ours is actually. We're in I think a watch right now, even though it's hotter than a Hubs of Hill right now. Um, but I wanted to share that all with you. That was just a great thing. There's another one that says heat can be dangerous, and it tells you about how to um, factor. Um, uh, what am I thinking of? What the temperature really is versus what it feels like. Um, like right now, it's like 90 97 degrees, and it feels like 110 out here. Oh well, 102, maybe a little bit less, or it's 80. I don't know. It's hot. It's humid. It's sticky. It's nasty. It's gross. Um, but you can find all this stuff over on. You can punch it in on your computer or on your phone. Weather.gov/safety /heat has all of that information for you. Also, I also found this really cool application which might help you guys there in Arizona, even though it doesn't, may or may not. Let me find it because it was. I actually downloaded it and it was pretty right on the money. I just gotta find it. It's there somewhere. Come on. It was there a minute ago. I was just looking at it. So, it's an application. You can put it on Android. You can put it on iPhone. It is what it is called. Crap. Hang on. I gotta look it up because there's a name. It comes up under heat, but you have to go in and type in what it really is. It's a heat. It's called a heat index app. It's OSHA. Okay, this is the name of it. It's OSHA, like as in OSHA. Um, NEOSH, heat safety. Da 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 da. It's actually put out by OSHA, um, the government agency that wants to protect all of us hardworking workers and all of that. Um, so I've got it. I'm opening up. I have my local. I'm in Cabot, Arkansas. It says it's 88 degrees outside, 60% humidity, and at 8:54 it feels like 98 degrees out here. I am cooking. You can type in an address, location, zip code, and it'll actually tell you. It's not 88 degrees out here, guys. Like almost, but it feels like it, or it says it is. I'm gonna look on the weather thing, find out what's going on. Actually, that's the wrong one. I'll go to the NWS because they'll actually tell me what it is. Ah, really? Why are you doing this? So, it's actually 81 degrees out here, and it still feels like 98 degrees. So, temperature has gone down. It's still. I'm just sweating up a storm. Nice. But anyways, guys, that was the one topic that I really just wanted to touch on today. Um, not, it's not major, but I wanted to, it's just being aware of what's going on around you weather-wise. Um, it's something it's not even, it's very seldom ever talked about. You never hear the weather community talking about heat index or people dying and that. Your local stations probably will talk about it more than you'll actually ever hear it on social media. You know, so that's the only reason why I did that. Trying to look for some ideas. If you got any ideas, pop it in. You can pop it in Discord. by the way, there is a new community tab open for everybody that is a subscriber. Um, you can drop ideas in there and I think you can do pictures in there. It's actually on the YouTube channel. Um, I popped it up today at just something new. Thought it'd be a great idea. But it's kind of like a community chat area for those that subscribe to the channel. You can get in. You can post screens. Hey, Julie. So if you got any ideas for future fireside chats, you can pop them in there. I'll catch them. I read every one of those comments and notes and things like that. You can drop it in Discord under the fireside chat ideas. I don't know. That's what's going on. What's going on in y'all's neck of the woods? We got 11 folks in here. Got 12 likes. Woohoo! Big night. Big night. We do have some things to talk about. There's a lot going on in our world, folks, and I'm not sure everybody understands what's going on. I got a cat in my lap, and I got to pay attention to battery. Okay. Hey, Ryan, can you go out into your mom's car and grab that battery pack for me? Yeah, I got a kitty cat in my lap. Hey, Angela. Great to have you here. Yeah, we got. There's a lot going on in the world. Got a lot going on in my world. We have. I don't know if I want to do it now or later. I got some really exciting news. I think I'm gonna wait. I want to hold off for sure, and find out, because I really haven't been actually accepted into what's happening yet with a bunch of people. But I do have some really cool news. I'm going to leave the cliffhanger. As of right now, it's still in the makings, but I think it's going to be very helpful for the channel. I think it's going to be very helpful for a lot of folks in that. So I'm going to leave the cliffhanger. When we're waiting on the IRS right now to say it's okay. Once I get the confirmation, I will let everybody know. But got a lot going on weather-wise. The next couple weeks really not going to be a lot. We'll probably be doing a lot of fireside chats here and there. We got weather coming in tonight, supposedly early morning. We're supposed to have possibly some severe thunderstorms, nothing major, just a lot of rain, a lot of lightning, maybe some hail, maybe a tornado, I doubt it. Other than that, they got some storms up in Kansas that are headed our direction. Bunch of tornadoes, some beautiful tornadoes yesterday were caught, filmed all over from Minnesota all the way back to Nebraska. Got to see a couple of them on streams. Absolutely breathtaking. Did you find it? Huh? Yeah. No. The green one? Is it in mine? Okay. I saw it somewhere. Sorry. Yeah, I just need the big brick. Ew, 105. Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. So, but what do y'all think of this new layout? This new thing that I'm doing, vertical. I did it one other time. Everybody seemed to kind of like it. It kind of got to grow on you. This way, then I can keep things kind of separated from chasing, because chasing is always horizontal. Vertical is more kind of, intimate, kind of a lot better, I think. I think it does better for the obviously the fire pit. Yeah, no pool here either. Daggone it. I got a bathtub where I'll go swim. Plus with vertical, once I start doing these vertical streams, there's actually a way you all there's a way you all can give, and I don't know how that is done. I honestly don't know. Um, I don't know who John is, but Tammy's doing better. She's was up. She's inside cooling off. Yeah, yeah. No, we had a pool one time, and it just yeah, it just didn't work out. I yeah, I got a doggy pool. We could play in it with the dogs, but poolside chats, yeah, don't really go well because you want to be in the water and my phone in the water. I drop the phone, and y'all go swimming. But great to have everybody here. I knew it was going to happen. 45 minutes into the stream, I just kind of killing time. Got a bunch of trolls in. I thought that was kind of funny. They obviously didn't like me because I flat up told them I ain't putting up with that crap. All right, you want to go give me a? Hang on, doing some technical type stuff. 44. Ooh, all right. Um, yeah, got to go back to the very beginning. I mean, it got out of hand. I had it on public. I was trying to be nice to everybody, and I got a bunch of jack wipes, jack wagons. um, they wanted to stir up some crap, and I just not gonna put up with that. You know, I mean, there are some. I mean, you know, in defense though, uh, one of the guys actually did bring something up that I find it very interesting. And we may or may not talk about it. It is kind of political, and I don't mind skirting the politics thing a little bit. However, you know, you gotta pay attention to what you're talking about. You gotta know what you're talking about. And it's kind of, you know, because it's all opinionated. Thank you, Ryan. Now, if I can see how to plug that in, I think it's up there. There we go. Yeah, now we're charging. Got the battery pack on. Yeah, you know, I mean, come on. You know, we just had a bunch of riots go on. What y'all think of that? I'm not being political here. I mean, this is reality. This is the real deal. What did you all think about the rioting? What's your take on the riots? I know what my take is, and you know, it's one thing to, you know, you know, you have that right. Everybody has the right. Can you go get me some bug spray? I'm getting ate up. Everybody has the right to protest. I mean, it's in our Constitution. We have the right to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. This is what we believe. However, the very minute that you cross the line and you do stupid stuff to a police officer, to a federal agent, federal property, you have every right to get body slammed. And you can't play the hurt card or the poor pitiful me's. You did that by choice. You knew what you were getting into. uh, you know, burning the American flag. I can honestly tell you, do I agree with it? No. However, it is, it is, it is. People do it all the time. Pisses me off. It's the American flag. You don't do that. Thank you. And oh yeah, they did. Oh yeah, it was evident. They wanted a full out riot. They wanted to lose control on purpose because that's who they are. Look at where all the riots were, and I'm not, you know, they were in all of those wonderful states that were sanctuary states or cities. Think about that. Let that soak in for a minute. That's where they were. We had a protest here, the so-called No Kings. I never heard nothing about it afterward. I mean, nothing ever happened. Matter of fact, the lack thereof in a bunch of those places were actually closed because they didn't even have a protest because nobody showed up, which is exactly my point. If you don't give these guys the leverage, the opportunity to do those things, guess what? You don't give them the publicity and scattered all over. Look at what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. All you're doing is feeding the fire. You are not helping the situation. Helping the situation is, all right, acknowledge that they're there and turn around and walk away. If they get in your way, hey, I feel you have every right to hit them. All right, if you're threatening my life, and you're smashing in my windows of my car, and my wife is in the car, or my boys, or anybody else's, oh yeah, you're gonna get run over. I'm gonna get the hell out of Dodge, and I'll see you in court. And I'll be the first one to call the cop because chances are he's gonna be right down the road. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because that's a heated subject for me. I've got to get some bug spray on. I am getting ate up. So, you guys enjoy the fire for a minute. Maybe I'm good for about an hour. Oh, hi, little girl. What you doing out here? Hey, Joe. Good to have you in here. You're gonna have to turn that down some. I cannot have that on out here. Nah, don't be ashamed. That don't be ashamed. No, baby. I got bug stuff all over me. Yes. We got a really cool bug out here. Yeah, don't be ashamed of where you live, because, you know, Arizona's a beautiful state. You know, things will change. My question to you guys, now that we've touched on the rioting, I gotta make sure I don't trip on cords. So here's my 2 cents worth, and I want you to think about this. What is really going on? Because if you notice, there's no more riots. Where's all the riots at? Are they still rioting? I don't know. They might still be there. Has anybody heard anything of any more riots happening anywhere? Seriously. Second Amendment. Yep.
There's one in Los Angeles.
Is there still a Oh yeah, I heard that loud and clear. And let me tell you what, yeah, that sent volumes. I was like, oh yeah, I'm moving to Florida. No, but um, has are there? I haven't seen anything. I've kind of stepped away from it. But are there still any riots still actually going on anywhere? I'm not sure. Brian just told me that in L.A. because I haven't seen anything. I haven't, just it's like it's over with, you know. Yeah, the whole thing got started because we're uh, oh man, smoke is gonna get me again. Sorry guys, got to back away just a minute. Wind shifted. I'm getting smoked out. Yeah. So L.A. and New York. All right, pay attention to those two places. Those are blue states. All right, those are sanctuary states. All right. Got to go back 10, 15 years ago. Well, not even that far. Four, 8. Yeah, about probably a good 8 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe, whenever it was. Uh, when did New York become a sanctuary state? This all boils down to that. The thing is yes, everybody was upset because all the immigrants or illegals, I'll call them illegals, they're not immigrants, they're not true immigrants. I have known several immigrants that have become very good friends of mine that actually are from Mexico and actually went through the process properly, and they're like, yeah, I don't know what their deal is, you know. um, and I had one, anyway. But what it is they got the panties in a knot because we are deporting them as fast as we can catch up to them. We're actually going into the fields. We're going into the factories. They're going into these places and eradicating the problem because they feel, and they feel obligated because certain people in our past government has said it was okay. They gave them money. They gave them, oh, let's go give you a house. Let's pay your medical bills. Let's buy you food. Let's get you started, dreamer. All right? Let's do all of these things. Let's get more people in here. The problem with that is not one of those people that were letting them in decided to bother to look and see who they really were. Oh yeah, by the way, they were the gangsters. Roper or Casey, that's your tail. Um, they were, they are, they've been eradicated. Some of them, they're still catching up to them. Killers, thieves, liars, cheats, do whatever they can to get in.
There's more killers in the world.
And that's who they let in. Millions of people. You can go back and look at past presidents. You can go all the way back to Jimmy Carter, back to Gerald R. Ford, all of them, all the way up until recently. And now it's not the right thing to do. But pay attention to the blue states because they're falling on their sword right about right now. Because the ones that they voted in way back then, guess what? They did the same thing as what's going on right now. They just didn't do it all the way complete. They got rid of folks. You bet. I have been very, I keep my mouth shut a lot when it comes to this topic because it pisses me off. As an American citizen born and raised in America, I've got people coming in that are taking jobs. Yeah, they don't like it. You know, they don't. But here's the thing. There's two sides. Um, they do the jobs that, as a white guy, I wouldn't do. I can't work in a field. I'm too tall. I can't work in the heat. I can't do, you know, some of them are very good at what they do. The migrant workers. Hey, you can be a migrant worker and still be a citizen of the United States. Do it right. Don't give me the crap about I just walked across the border and I'm going to go pull up turnips out in the field and make way more money than you ever will in your white collar job. It's true. They make way more money and they know how to handle it and they funnel it. You can't sit and tell me that any one of these guys that are around here, I see it in my area, they'll buy a house, somebody will go out and buy a house, and there'll be 15, 20 people living in that house. They're paying the bill, they're paying the mortgage, they're buying it. They all got cars, they all got brand new cars. I can't do that.
That's like Trump.
And what are they doing with their money? They got family and friends back home, trying to get them back in the United States. Got to go somewhere. Yeah, no, we're not doing politics. I'm just bringing something to light because it's a pretty hot subject. I'm not doing politics. This has absolutely nothing to do with politics. I'm not a politician. I am an American. And as an American, this thing out there that says you have every right to come into my country and take away from my veterans and take away from my elderly and take food off of my table. I got a problem with that. You want to call it politics? Call it politics. I'm okay with that. That's what this chat's for, is to communicate. It is, yes, my opinion. However, it should be everybody's should be paying attention to what's going on. It's not just that has absolutely nothing to do with politics. I am not a politician. I don't know all the laws and the rules and the regulations. I know that there is a process, and that process, because I've actually helped a person go through that process, there is a process that one has to actually go through. There's a lot of paperwork, guys. Stacks of papers. You have to have what is it? You got to have somebody to back you, stating that everything you're doing is you've been doing this. I've been that, whatever they call that. I've been that person. I rejoiced the day he stood up and took the oath to become a citizen. People do it all the time. People from Ireland do it all the time. People that immigrate to the United States legally and lawfully are U.S. citizens. I don't care what baseball cap you put on or what you put on your head. I don't care. As long as you follow America's laws, you speak English, at least while I'm around, because that is our national language. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you want to work. You're not going to get paid. That's what all of that is all about. Exactly, Rich. Exactly. Um, I'm going to jump in chat for a minute because somebody pointed something out and I got to go find it. Yeah, people. I've got a friend that actually immigrated to Canada. It was pretty cool. I was like, man, if I ever can ever get up there and get my visa, I'll come visit you. And it was like, yeah, right on. They come into the United States. They got double visa. It's kind of cool, you know. Yep, exactly. All right, guys, we got a couple of C-130 popping in. Ooh, notice the tail. They're coming in heavy. It's going to get loud. Compliments the United States Air Force. Based in Little Rock, some C-130s about to fly over here. Yeah, they're okay. They're gone. So there are actually countries out there, folks, that absolutely don't let nobody in. They say, "Oh nope, sorry, you don't look like us. We don't want anybody in." And it is perfectly okay to shut the borders down. They've done it before. They've done it before, and they have. I mean, yeah, there was still illegal. I'm going to tell y'all a story one time. and this was, oh my gosh, this was way back in the 80s. All right. I think I've told it before, but I'll tell it again. It's one of my favorites because it was my dad and I and a friend of ours. We were headed down to Arizona to cut down a palm tree. All right. It was in the backyard and it was a nuisance. It was about to fall over. And my dad at that time says, nope, we got to get rid of it because we don't want to land it on a house or hurting anybody. So this tree was about 2.5, 3 foot around in diameter, big old spaghetti looking thing. And one night when we got there, and I was kind of summing up the tree because I was the guy that had to go and top it out and cut the palm fronds out so when we dropped it, it wouldn't hit the fence and all of that fun stuff. And this one night I had it was kind of cool. I remember it was hot, but it was nice. It wasn't like 900 degrees like it is right now there. And I remember I had a hoodie on, and before I climbed up the palm tree, I had put a bunch of rocks in my pouch. I don't know why. I wouldn't expecting anything. I just did. And I get up there and my grandmother, they lived in Yuma. They lived on the canal. Literally the canal was like right there. And I saw something move, and it come flying over the fence line and ducked behind their metal shed. And I was like, oh, really? Guys, I was all of maybe 20, 21, 22, 23, 40 years ago, back in the 80s. And I sat and watched this guy, and I was like, what in the world? Because I'd never experienced anything like it. And I was like, oh, I know what you are. Okay, I got you. Didn't know the guy. I'd never seen him before in my life. So what did he do? He ducked, popped his head up, and I took one of the rocks. I got on my throwing arm side of the tree, and I dropped a rock onto the metal shed, and it bounced and hit him, like in the head. It wasn't hard. I heard it kind of and like, where did that come from? It scared him more than anything. And I hollered out and I said, you've got about 3 seconds to get off of this property. Because if you don't, I will come at you and I will hurt you. I knew who it was and I knew what they were doing. And I never heard nothing. And he ducked back behind the building. I let him pop his head up again. I hit him again. I said, "You've got 3 seconds." He did not know where. He didn't even know I was in the tree. He thought I was out in the yard somewhere, hiding in the brush, watching him. And didn't hear nothing. He popped his head out again. I hit him again. I was getting pretty good aim. I had his bead on him. Finally, he took off. I was like, "Okay, I'm about to get you. I'm literally right around the corner from you, you know." And he took off, jumped the other fence, and I just started hurling rocks at him. And I could hear him. I hit him in the back a couple of times, and I know it stung. But that guy was on my grandmother's property, and I didn't know what he was going to do. Had I not been there, there's no telling. All right? That's why I'm very adamant about what's going on around us, because you don't know. You don't know what they're capable of doing. They might be perfect. Hey, I know perfectly good Hispanic people. Love them dearly. But when you mess up and you go against the country's rules and regulations and all of that fun stuff, it ain't got nothing to do with politics. It has everything to do with being an American citizen, standing up for what you believe in. Cut and dry. We as Americans have gotten soft. We've been brainwashed for a long time. I'm not just talking in the recent 5, 8, 10 years. I'm talking for a long time. We've been brainwashed, folks, into thinking that it's okay to do these things. It's okay to do those things that totally go against our Constitution as a United States citizen. And I hope people are starting to see that. I'm not talking politics here. I'm talking about being an American citizen. You fly your flag on the 4th of July. You flew your flag 9/11. Fly your flag on Memorial Day. What does that flag mean to you? What does it really mean to you? Something to ponder. Everybody think about that one. We call ourselves American citizens. We call ourselves Americans, but yet we're not willing to stand up for what is right in our country. And right now, it's the right time to stand up, say, "Hey, enough is enough. Let's get things sorted out. Let's help our people first, get ourselves straightened out, and then I'll say, okay, I'm going to let 1 million people walk in, but those 1 million people better have the idea that they're going to stand up and take an oath to become a U.S. citizen. Period." I'll leave it at that. You guys take that. Hope you enjoyed that. I don't know. I just kind of rambled, but that's my take on it. You know, it's not even my opinion anymore. It's who I am. It's what I was born and raised to be. It's simple. Yeah, it's simple. It's simple. It's, here's another, and I'll look at it this way. Did you know that right now, apparently in the United States, it's okay to walk into a Walmart, take something off the shelf, and walk out the door? Yeah, people do it all the time. People do it all the time. Brazenly theft. I experience it every day at my work. Had a guy walk in, took off the shelf 2 very, very, very expensive lawnmowers and walked out the door. Oh, just so happened that somebody caught their license plate. Yeah, they'll probably end up going to jail because they're probably sitting in a warehouse somewhere and it's a ring. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to do these things. What do you think the rioters, why do you think these people, you see the guy getting tackled because he's protesting. Why do you think the guy did that? That's a patriot. I'm not saying everybody needs to go up and tackle somebody, but I think there are ways that we can improve ourselves to stand up. I don't care if you're Democrat. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, whatever. Get out and vote for the one that's going to do the right thing at the right time appropriately. It may not be a Republican this next time. It may be a Democrat. But as long as that Democrat is for America and American ideals, then you should vote for him. That's not being political. That's being honest, straight up, an American citizen. Concerned, very concerned, American citizen. I'm not saying that I have all the answers, because Lord knows I don't. I'm going off of what I have been witnessing for the last 15, 20 years. I just realized I'll be 62 in September. I've been on this planet enough. I've seen racial discrimination firsthand. And it ain't nothing what people think it is today. There's a lot more going on in this world than people even know of. And it's all coming down. And it's coming down fast. Alarm's going off. So if you can't handle that, I'm sorry. Yeah, I may lose some subscribers. I don't really care. I don't really care right now. We as Americans are hurting. We're bleeding. And we need to stop the bleed. We need to fix the bleed. We don't just need to put a Band-Aid on it. We need to fix it. And I think as American citizens, we should do that. I think we all need to come together. I don't think we need to come together and hold hands and sing Kumbaya, because that ain't going to fix it. I think what we need to do is we need to get people in our government that will stand up for America and say, hey, enough is enough. Thoughts, concerns, questions? I probably lost a whole lot of folks on that one. Sorry I got off onto that, but it needed to be said. Crystal, that's about to happen. Believe it or not, that is about to happen. Hey, Elaine, welcome in. Hey, y'all. I'm back. Hey, welcome to the new kitty. Great. What's Kitty's name? What's Kitty's name? Great to have you here. Oh, boy. Congrats. A third, more progressive party? I don't know. It depends on who it would be. See, this is the type of dialogue we need as Americans. I noticed something today, and I was talking to a friend of mine at work. This is what we need. We need dialogue. Nobody talks about it. Nobody sits down at the coffee shop and talks about what's going on in the world around them, right or wrong, because everybody gets offended. I'm here to tell you, those days are about over with, being offended. But nobody talks about it. I used to talk about it with my dad. My dad was a Republican, for crying out loud. I used to have these conversations with my parents. Did we ever solve anything? No. Matter of fact, we would sit down and pat each other on the back and look, you got a pretty good idea there. You're right. Maybe we do. But we don't talk about what's going on because mainstream media isn't going to talk about it because they don't want the truth to be known. It's time that the shadows, the curtains, the veils were opened up in America. It's time that people opened their eyes and pulled the mud crap off of them and actually opened it up and was going, oh, this is what's really going on. Get your head out of the sand type of deal. Because it's very important. We live in a day, in a society right now where they want you to be quiet. They want you to be hush hush. They don't want you to voice your thoughts on anything. Whoever they are, whatever side they're on, doesn't matter to me. Talk about it. Sit down. Have a logical discussion about what's going on in the world. Why not? Who knows? You might learn something. I learn something every day. Am I saying I'm right? No. What I'm saying is we need the dialogue as citizens of the United States. The truth will eventually come out and it will come forth and it will be like a hammer on your head when you finally wake up and realize, oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. There's a reason why, Julie, there's a reason, a specific reason why that happened. And it's not all about the Democrats. I'm here to tell you. You're right, Rich. We the people. We the people. Boy, love to hear that. We the people of the United States of America. We the people are supposed to fix it. How do we fix it? That's the key. How do we fix it? Stand up and fight for your brother that's at the veterans who can't get help. Help that veteran. Help that sick or an elderly person that can't afford. Give what you can. That fixes it. Bring awareness to those things. We're slowly getting there, but we're so far away from all of that. We the people fix it. We the people need to wake up. I like that. It's got a good ring to it. No, they're not going to resign. No. They've had their hand slapped, and they know right now probably won't be there next year or whenever they get elected. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. Hey, there's a tornado watching Kingman, Kansas right now. Yeah, you're right, Crystal. That is a group of people that uh, they didn't survive for nothing, and we have neglected them horribly. I agree with you there. Yeah, Marcy. Unfortunately, I got a feeling you are right there. You are correct. There's something big about to happen. I can't put my finger on it. I kind of, it's kind of a waiting game. There's been a lot of smoke and mirrors lately, and I've noticed that these riots, they're nothing more than smoke and mirrors. So I'm trying to figure out what's actually going on behind the scenes, if you will. This whole thing with Doge and ICE and all of that, I think it's smoke and mirrors. There's something else at play, and I got a feeling we're going to find out here pretty soon. We're going to find out probably in the next couple months, if not sooner. And I'm not sure how good it's going to be. I'm not sure, what to think about it because I honestly don't know. I don't have an insider. I'm just going off of what I see and what I hear, and I believe half of what I hear and what I see. My God, we got 19 people in here. Do me a favor and smash that like and subscribe button. We got 18 likes. Woohoo! Big night tonight. No, I agree, Patrick. I mean, if you have questions, people out, I'm one of these type of people. I'll read anything. That way, then I at least, here's the deal. At least when I've read it, I actually know what I'm talking about. Knowledge is power, folks. We're about to get ran over by a bunch of C-130s again, and they are swinging her wide. Coming in heavy, going to be loud here in a few seconds. But knowledge is power. Look it up. Patrick, yeah, I didn't know you was Mexican. Actually, I did. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, we're in. Hey, Jim. Yeah, I'm 16 miles from the runway. It gets pretty loud at night on a weekday in Cabot, Arkansas. The C-130 is flying over. It complements the United States Air Force, based in North Little Rock, Jacksonville. Actually, they have the C-130 that liberated oh liberated uh, East Germany, Berlin. When Berlin, they actually uh, the plane, if I'm not mistaken, it was East Berlin when they were getting all of the people um, out of that area. The political uppity ups during that time. They flew this C-130 and picked them all up, and then they took off hurriedly. That C-130 is actually outside, facing the freeway. If you come into Little Rock, you would see that. That's what that one's all about. In the wintertime, they call him Rudolph. All right. So, Joe, did you get your question answered? What is Doge? Doge is basically, I couldn't even tell you what the actual acronym stands for. Department of Organized something or other, government something or other. Um, Basically, what it was Elon Musk was hired. He was not even voted in, all right, but he was hired without taking money. He agreed to come in, he and a bunch of people, and they started going through and finding out where the money was going. If you think Ukraine was a mistake, you are sadly mistaken. No. If you think that Ukraine was a mistake in giving them a lot of money, you're sadly mistaken. That was actually proved, documented. But basically what they did was they go in and they check government spending versus what was actually being spent. Why are people spending thousands of dollars on a motel or hotel for a week, as a proper use of money? It's checks and balances, basically. Put it in a nutshell. Checks and balances as far as money is concerned. Where's the money going? Who's getting the money? Where did the money go? Where did the money end up? Where did all of these, the what they call the pork belly bills that out there, they slap on this multi-million-dollar thing to go study a fly's brain. Okay, what earthly good does that have to do with anything scientific other than a fly has a brain that sometimes it uses and sometimes it doesn't? Stuff like that. That's what it's all about. And that's it. Locked up. So, yep, I agree. Alarm system going off. I'm not sure what they're barking at. Sorry, I'm looking at chat. I'm reading chat. DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Thank you, Julie. I knew it was something like that. Couldn't remember exactly what it meant. Yeah, I'd be careful of the Ukraine. I'd be careful of Russia. I'd be very careful of China. Hey, Mao, unless you're going to go bite it, quit barking. Quit. Because it's all interconnected. Here to tell you. Yeah. Yep. Hey Ty, welcome in. I didn't see. I'm looking at chat and I'm way behind in chat. So good night, son. I know you got to get up in the morning. Yep. Yeah, bring them on in, Ty. Bring them on in. Good to have everybody here. We got 19 folks here, 19 likes. We are just we're actually talking, Ty, about all of the protests and all of the shenanigans going on in America right now, and it's it's not political. I mean, it's being an American citizen and just trying to open dialogue about everybody's thoughts. What'd you think of the protests? I mean, where I know where you live and that, but if we don't talk about it, how are we going to have an understanding of what's really going on? That's my whole idea about this whole thing, is opening a dialogue for everybody to voice their opinion. It's okay. You're not going to be ridiculed. I don't care about that. That's not what I'm all about. But if we don't sit and talk about these things, this is why it festers up. This is why you have people that are so angry that they want to go out and, obviously do harm to others, because they're so frustrated because nothing's happening. Things take time. We know that. But if we're not doing our part as an American citizen of these here United States, then we're just as to blame as the next guy. That's what the dialogue's all about. That's what we're doing here. Just keep it in perspective. Oh, that's cool. Nachos. Nachos make NATOs. Yeah, Irish people are cut from a different cloth. We need attention. Oh, it works for subscribers. All right, I'll turn it off. Reason why I turned it on. I'll be honest with you guys. When I first started the stream, I had a bunch of weirdos come in and try to troll before we ever even got started. So I will hang on, Ty. If you haven't done so already, I gotta get in, fix. Nope, that one yet. I'll turn off subscriber mode. If it goes back, tell you what, guys, if it goes back and we get a bunch of hooligans in here, I will put it back on. All right, I'm gonna open it up to everybody. Okay, there you go. It should be off now. I've turned off subscriber mode. Hey, Blondie. I didn't know you had. I didn't know you couldn't do that. Because I've been on Stormrunner and I know they have subscriber mode on a place. I think they do. But anyway, I'll leave it off. Yeah, I just turned it all off. So, oh, it's cool. But moderators, I'm going to tell you now, I've got it turned off. If anybody gets in here and starts messing around and doing some stupid stuff, feel free to knock them out of there. Okay? I'm going to use that as your disclaimer. Even though this is open mic, we've got to keep things, moderated to a degree. Most of the time, we don't ever get into these hot, heavy discussions like they are tonight. But this is what's going on around us, and this is what I love about Fireside Chats is that we can all come together, we can talk about it, and as long as nobody's being threatened or anything like that, or doing the stupid, silly things. I'm not going to put up with somebody, telling me this and that. No, they don't know. So if you need to moderate, feel free to moderate. But I literally had a whole handful of people try to get in and really screw things up. Rich is misbehaving? When is he not misbehaving? When is he not? Hey, Gumby, welcome in. We're discussing the riots that took place and what's going on in our world, why things are happening. I mean, just open up the dialogue and the discussion. Thoughts on the riots. Were they plausible? Were they not? What's going on in the world around us right now? Because believe you me, there is a lot going on, and I'm not sure everybody quite understands it. That's what we're talking about. We're not. It's nothing political. I won't put up with any political jargon too much. But when people come in and say, this and that country needs to, freedom and all of that, I'm gonna throw the brakes on. That's why I had it on subscriber mode, was because these guys jumped in and it kind of was getting out of hand way in the beginning. And if you had to look at Chad, yeah, I didn't block them or didn't ban them. I just put subscriber on and took off. But welcome in, everybody. Great to have everybody here. I'm showing 19 folks, got 22 likes. Great, hallelujah. You guys are rocking it. Hope you're having a good Tuesday night. We're I talked a little bit about heat and stuff like that in the very beginning, and I kind of wanted to really jump into this. I know it's a sore subject. I know it is. People don't want to talk about it, but we need to talk about it. About the riots that took place. Whether you agree with them or disagree, that's fine. Voice your thoughts. Dissect it out. What were they really all about? And what's going on behind the scenes? Because to me, it was like every other riot we've had so far in the last 10, 11, 12 years. Here today, gone tomorrow. Never hear from them again. Somebody's behind it. Who's behind it? What's really going on? What's really going on in our world should be the question. What's really going on behind all of the veils that are out there? Hey, Blondie. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. You're awesome. Yeah. Alrighty, Ty. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Oh, my phone is about to die now. Great, I'm about to lose phones. Hang on, guys. This might be. Gotta plug this one in. I need another. My phone's about to die. I'm down to 14%. YouTube just went nuts, huh? Whew. Talk about a sticky mess there, kitten. 80 degrees and 83. You're up in the feels like the 90s. I mean that's just gross. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to get on. There's a lot of folks out there, man. I just don't want to be on their bad side. You just don't know. Just don't know. Oh, I'm sitting outside in front of a really hot fire, and it is actually here. Oh, why are you not? No, that's why you're not plugged in. Duh. It's like, why is my phone not charging? Because I plugged it into my other phone. But I've got enough battery on this one. Got this really cool brick that charges things and actually does a really good job. But in order for me to see chat, I got to have my phone, which is down to 13%. Hey, Derek. Great to have you here. But yeah, I'm sitting outside. It is actually right now. What's my 78 degrees. However, that ain't what it really is. Yeah, 76. 80% humidity. Yeah. Go back to my really handy dandy map thing if I can find it. I got a really cool app that tells me what the humidity and heat index is. Let's see. It's called heat. It's like the sun. Plugging numbers in, guys. %. Feels like it's 85. We would basically be in a warning. We've cooled down. It feels like 80 degrees outside. It feels like 85. 80%, 82% humidity right now at 80 degrees. Ick. Gross. I actually don't feel bad out here. Yeah. Whoa, hello. What in the world just happened? Hey, Jeffrey. Welcome in. Going pretty good. We got onto a very touchy subject, and yeah. So here's my thing. I'm trying to get my phone up. So I don't mind people voicing their opinion. I don't mind people protesting. I think sometimes it's actually kind of funny. However, oh kitty, please don't put the claws in my leg. That would hurt. However, peaceful protest, I have no problem with. But the minute you start destroying people's property, I have a problem with that. That's not a proper protest. In fact, that's disobeying the law. And things get out of hand. I know things get, heated up, and this is just a subject that is very, very touchy. I agree. I get it. But, there are rules in place for a reason. And if you're following them, I got no problem. Go out and speak your piece. Do what you got to do. I have no problem, listening to people, find out what their grievance is, because a lot of times it's a grievance. But when you start disobeying the law and the rules, then there's the issue. That bug is still there. My goodness, he's kind of cool looking. I got a bug sitting right next to me, guys. I wish you guys could see it. He is amazing looking. Just take a picture of him. See if I can. I'm going to see if I can take a picture of this thing. I honestly do not know what he is, but I don't even know if I can or not. No, it's not going to. Too dark right here. No. Too dark. Too dark. Yep. That's right. Got to stay civilized. You got to, like I said, I remember the day when you could sit down. You can't even talk about this stuff. Here's the problem. You can't even talk about this stuff around the dinner table without somebody getting pissed off at you because it goes against their views. What happened? When did that change? My dad was a Democrat. Come on. I used to have these conversations with my dad at an early age in high school, junior high, and all of that, because didn't make me a Democrat, and actually he was kind of upset that I kind of went to the other side of the spectrum a little bit. But, he never faulted me. We could sit down and have a logical conversation, and finally one day I finally found out, why he was who he was, and I was okay with that. But, in today's society, it's not okay to be, you are either this side of the line or you're that side of the line, but the two cannot ever come together because of the division that has been caused by our government to separate and cull out those that are and those that aren't, and da-da-da-da-da, and this is where we're at today. This is why the American citizen as a whole doesn't know which way to turn, because they got to be hush-hush, or they get terminated, or they get, beat up, or what have you. It's okay. I don't care about all of the nonsense. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real about this. Call it what it is. All right, guys. Says I got 15 folks in here. We got 23 likes. We've been going for about 2 hours. Oh, tornado warning. What? Wait a minute. I get these really cool announcements now. Tell me when a tornado warning's going on. Right now, tornado warning. Where in the world? Oh, in Garfield, Oklahoma, Grant, Oklahoma. Golly, I better start paying attention to the weather, folks. It may not be too far from me. Let's see what's going on here. Weather. No, that's a long ways away from me. Long ways away. Now, oh wow. There's actually 4 tornado warnings, and they're all north of Oklahoma City. But all of that stuff is coming my direction. It'll be early morning. Guys, Tammy's playing with Sparky. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Patrick. I do. Hello, honey. Welcome to the chat. Oh, looks like it. What is that? It's hard to get. What? Oh, you're over there. I got a cat sitting behind me. Oh, Joe, that's a good question. Where did the consequences go? What happened? I mean, there should be consequences. Yep. Hey, when I got in trouble when I was a kid, all right, and here's the thing, as an adult, as a young person, you know right from wrong. You know right from wrong at a very early age. You know it's not all right to cuss when you're 4 years old. You should get a belt taken or a bar of soap to the mouth. See, those are consequences. You ain't gonna do it again until you get older, or you're gonna start cussing, and then it's okay, because then you realize it's okay for mom and dad to do it. It's okay for me to do it. But you know right from wrong. You don't go out and start cussing at the world, right? You don't go into Walmart and steal something without consequences. It's going to happen. Now, today, it's okay. You can walk around. We can't even touch them. At my work, we are not allowed to touch them. We got to let them walk out. We can take their identity, all of that fun stuff. Because they say my life is not worth it. I'd gladly lay my life down, and I've told them that. But I can't, because I need my money, because I got to pay my mortgage, and I've got food to put on the table. But it's not okay. It literally, I get upset every time I say I have a thief, man. I'm on their heels and all of that. Oh, there are consequences. There better be consequences. They're just not enforced. I don't think consequences are enforced enough. They're getting better. Oh, what are you barking at? Go to bed. I'm not sure what that is. Hang on, guys. Roper. Rose. House. Get over here. Holly, be quiet. Sorry, guys. Dogs are barking at the neighbor. Well, consequences. I mean, here's the thing. Consequences should be appropriate to the crime. All right? I mean, I can understand saying, you know what, you did wrong, you know, and you understand this when you have kids. Do you go out and punish your kid? And I can put it this way. It's about the easiest way I can put it. All right? First of all, there's rules. If the rules are broken, all right, first time, you know, you got to ask the question, did you not know about the rules? When did the rules change? When did you know, change the rules? You know, second time, that's when the consequences that should be appropriate for the crime, you know, your son, say your son is you set a curfew out. Okay. First time you set that curfew and say, son, you're supposed to be home at 10 o'clock at night. I know it's Friday, but we're going to get up early in the morning and we're going to go somewhere as a family and we're going to do this. I want you home so that you get a good night's rest because we're going to be out running and playing. All right. Son comes home. Is he 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late, an hour, 2 hours, doesn't come home till midnight? The consequences, my consequences for that will be, okay, son, here's the deal. You said you'd be home, but you're not. Now you get to stay home and you get to do housework. Maybe next time you'll learn that when we say, you know, being home at 10 o'clock, that's what that means, because we have something planned. You see, the consequence fits the punishment fits the crime, if you will. You know, takes the car out. Not home, gets in a wreck. You know, there's your consequence. You're now without a car. Do the police suspend the license? No. As a parent, I have every legal right to say, you are not driving my car no more. You're walking. That's your punishment. Should have thought about that. You see, it's not about actual, you know, the punishments need to fit the crimes. And a lot of times the punishments, yeah, they're strict. They're stiff for a reason to keep you from doing it again and again and again and again. So what happens? Oh yeah, we'll let you slide on this one. You know, we'll let you off on good behavior. Don't do it again. Slap you on the wrist, send you down the road. That's called the warning. If you've ever had a ticket, you've either had a warning or you've had a ticket. You know, next time might not be so lenient. Better get that car fixed. You know, oh sure, you can lie your way out of it, maybe. Until the next time, they know what's going on. Come on. Exactly, Rich. Rich, have you been on the new I-57 here up in my area? If you've not, here's a good example. Speed limit's 55. They've got that 55, man. I'm telling you what, there are 4 state troopers that patrol, that monitor this stretch of road. This stretch of road is only good for like 5 miles. Hey, you be quiet. And I have seen more people pulled over for doing 60 than I have doing anything else. It is quite hilarious because they know they're there. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of folks that try to get by with it. I do 55, man. I am not going to get that ticket. I am not going to be that guy. I don't care if you run me over. You go around me. You want to get the ticket? I will sit and laugh at you, and I'll honk at you on my way to work. It's pretty simple, it really is. Yeah, you should come up here. You need to take a ride up here. It is so comical because they sit right along the road. They now got little cubby holes that they hide in. Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it's funny. Oh yeah. You should by now know. We're adult. Everybody in here is adult, as far as I can tell. You know when you're speeding. Yeah, they say five. Listen, I've been pulled over for doing 10 over. 10 over. Usually will. That's kind of pushing it. I got pulled over here a while back doing 10 over, and it was actually, it was funny because it was actually in Nebraska. It was in, I can never remember the name. Tammy could tell you. Middle of the night, I was headed to Omaha to Children's Hospital. I was cruising at 70. Speed limit was like 60. I had my cruise control on. Didn't even know a cop was behind me. Finally pulled me over. He goes, man, and it was like 20 degrees outside. It was bitter butt cold. He goes, do you know how fast you were going? I said, yeah, I was just cruising. I was doing 70. I had no idea even it was late at night. Nobody on the road. He goes, yeah, you were doing 10 over. Just want to let you know that you can do 59, and we probably won't pull you over, but at 10 over, we're going to pull you over for, give you, a warning. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize, and it's going to get loud, guys. We got a C-130 popping in on us, but, if you're good to them, they'd be good to you. How many times have I ever been pulled over on a chase? Y'all know I'm a cop magnet in my car. It's going to get loud, guys. C-130 compliments of the United States Air Force based in Little Rock at The Rock. Right on, Gumby. Right on. Yeah, we here at Little Rock, we're the home base for the C-130s. Various types, shapes. Hey, Rooster. Is this live, Rooster? Yes, we are live. We are live. Glide path. I don't know about gliding. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what they call it. I know they're coming in. They do a lot of touch and goes this time of night. It's 10:30. Welcome in, Rooster. Great to have you here. Yep, we have Gumby. Matter of fact, Little Rock is called Perk Nation. They put a lot of them in here. We've actually got 4. Well, there's probably a lot more, but I only see 4 ever flying at night. Met a couple of the pilots, met a couple of the crew members, and I always tell them they fly right over my house, and I got special names for them. And they go. One guy said the other night, he goes, yeah, he says, I said, yeah, I got a name for all 4 of the planes that I see, and I know there's more. and I called him out, and there was one I called Three Stripes that had three white stripes on it. And he goes, yeah, he says, we did a special painting on that. We were trying to do a World War II commemorative flyby for somebody, and that's how that ended up. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I said, yeah, there's one that's got four lights. Tonight he's only got two, and so it's kind of messed me up a little bit, but it's the same one. He goes, yeah, they tend to turn off the lights depending on what they're practicing. I said, yeah, I noticed a lot of them didn't have their lights on the other night. He goes, yeah, they're doing deep dark missions at nighttime missions. I thought that was pretty cool. Well, I think in response to that, Patrick, I think what happens, and this is just my take on it. Like I said earlier, I don't care if you protest. I don't care if it's a legitimate. You got to have the paperwork in place. You're going to have X amount. You can't control how many people are actually going to be there, because they found that out. I believe in LA they said there was like 30,000, and there was actually like 150,000. So, got to take that into consideration. But if you're protesting, legitimately protesting, voicing your opinion without the destruction of property or human life, and not disrespecting the police officers there should be no problem. I'm just saying, there should be no problem. But the very minute that crosses the line, guess what? That gives you a bad name as a protester or a group that's protesting or wants to protest again 6 months down the road. That's going to give you the tarnish. That's going to tarnish the name of the protest. So, that's why, I can almost tell you, I've talked to enough police officers about it. That's what happens. It's just like your name. You go out, you've got a great name. I love your name, Patrick. I really do. But the very minute you go out and do something stupid, legitimately stupid, and you go, not saying you're going to, but say you go out and you throw a pop bottle at a federal agent, guess what? That's going to tarnish your name. They're going to get you. You're not supposed to do that. See what I'm saying? I get the protest thing. Hell, I protested. We all protested against our parents a time or two. I know I did. Threw a temper tantrum right in the middle of the Kmart one time. So it's legitimacy is, everybody has a legitimate right to protest, but it's how that legitimacy is handled. Now, if you're protesting, you say, that's why, I noticed something the other day. There was a No Kings March, and the one thing I kept hearing was peaceful march. They were actually calling it out. I was like, cool, they got it right. I don't care what they can protest whatever they want, as long as they're peaceful and not harming others and destruction of property. That's where the line's drawn. Once you cross that line, there's no turning back. You have just tarnished the name of the protest that you're going under. You gotta find a new name. Hey, Dana. Where did I miss? It's probably not the state doing it to you. It's my guess would be that it's probably the name of protest. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Joe, that's funny. Well, it could be. The heat of the moment. You know, that's why you don't mess with them. That's pretty common sense. Don't mess. Don't mess with them. Don't mess with them. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Don't put yourself in a situation that's going to happen, whether you're a protest or not. But yeah, see, it's good dialogue. What do y'all think of the conversation so far? We need to move on to something else? I'm not done. No. You guys be quiet. In the back seat, be quiet. I got Holly and Stormy sitting together in a chair right behind my back. It's kind of cool. All right. I think. What else y'all want to talk about? Let's change the subject a little bit. Let's change it up. Did y'all get to see the tornado of the year, of the century, of the whatever they want to call it? Did y'all get to see that yesterday? Man, that was something. No, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Sure you do. Yeah, it was a heck of a storm. That storm was amazing. Absolutely, truly amazing. Oh, it's 67% on the stream camera. We're golden there. I'm trying to get my phone back up. Yeah, that was a beautiful tornado yesterday. There was a bunch. There've been a bunch. When they talk about tornado of the year, it's like, really? It was a beautiful tornado, and it deserves to be on a wall somewhere. But how do you classify tornado of the year? Because it's sat there for an hour. What's the criteria when they say that? I kind of chuckle. The one in Nebraska that touched down. I was actually on Storm Runner Media's stream yesterday when that one touched down. I was actually, because I'm a moderator for their channel, and I just got off from work, and I kid you not, I sat in the parking lot for 30 minutes. Just, oh my, it was so amazing and scary at the same time. And I was like, man, and I remember Garrett saying, well, what do you think, Chet? And I said, man, what do you think of this thing? And they were pumped up, and you could tell, excited. And I was like, man, I just wished I was there. I would love to see something like that. But anyway. The first Apache Junction police. What? Oh, wow, Marcy. Sorry, I'm looking back. And they hurt, I guarantee you. Hey, shut it. You be quiet. Down and back. Down and back. You're not as big as you think you are. Shut the mouth. The world don't need to hear you. Yeah, I think it's been a good dialogue tonight. I think we're. I like where it's going. I love the conversation. What y'all got for me? I'm gonna go and I'm actually gonna go until my stream phone dies. I don't have to be to work till 1 o'clock tomorrow. I get to sleep in tomorrow. Got a few bills to pay. Yeah. Yeah, it was, Jim. It was very surreal. I mean, it was just like, holy crap! Like, what am I seeing here? Because that that tornado was on the ground for more than 45 minutes. Like I said, I just got off from work. I'd clocked out, got out to my car, turned the stream on at 10 after, and it was still um, a land spout. It was still a land spout at that time, and it didn't end for another. Well, it didn't end until after the hour, top of the hour. So yeah, it was on the ground good almost an hour. Yeah. Good luck, Patrick. I'm not seeing a whole lot out there. It'll be hopefully hurricane season will take off here shortly. I mean, there is something out in the Pacific I saw. Heck, at this point, I just put up with a good lightning show. I have not been able to do a good lightning uh, stream yet this year. Have you noticed that? At least I don't think so. Remember last year, man, we were able to go out and stream lightning shows and just do lightning shows. And I haven't been able to even do that this year because they've been so weird. It's been a very weird weather year. Tornadoes where they're not supposed to be tornadoes, and it's been really hard to pinpoint. Models have been all crazy, jacked up, wrong. So it's kind of like, yep, back to the basics and old school, and just got to look at things and go from there. Alrighty, kitten lover, have a good night. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you being here and supporting the channel with your like. I appreciate it. Get some rest. Much deserved. Yeah, I got to redo some of those deals. So is the fire going good enough for you? Or hey, get over here and be quiet. Get over here. Be quiet. You be quiet. Roper, be quiet. Lay down. You're fine. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. All right. Don't get too close. Start knocking things over, and then we're in trouble. We don't want to put everybody on their head. No. Lay down. Lay down. Oh yeah. Yeah. I got to remember where they're at, Patrick. Yeah. Give me. All right, guys. Tammy's hollering at me. She wants me to come in. Enjoy the fire for just a few minutes. I got to get up and stretch anyways. I will be right back. Go on. No. Go on. All right. Whew. Man, those crickets are loud. It finally woke up. Middle of June. And they just woke up, guys. Oh. I gotta go back and see what Angela said. Parlay? Yeah. What did I miss? Walk the plank, you all. God, why does my phone keep doing that? Nobody move. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Sorry, Patrick. I got to go. Got to remember where you sent those to me. Dang it. Dang it. Hang on. Let's see. You sent them. Not mistaken. You sent them to me on Discord. I thought you did. Patrick, did you text those to me? Yeah, you had to. I can't remember where you sent those to, Patrick. Do 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 do. Whew. All right, I got it now. I know you sent it to me, um, and I put it somewhere, and I can't remember where I put it. All right. Gotta wait for things to open up. Opening up. Oh, come on. You're gonna take forever. Oh my lord, that's not what I wanted. Damn it. Oh, seriously, why is it not opening up? Hang on, I'm trying to get this document opened up that Patrick sent me of these tall tales, and I can't get it to open for some reason. Crap. Huh. Well, shoot. Mhm. it again with this one. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. Oh, okay. Maybe that. Yeah. Thanks for sending that. Yeah, I had to have a PDF. It'll actually open up. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's what it was, Patrick. All right. So these are. I'm gonna read you some funny stuff. This is from a book that Patrick actually has sent me excerpts um, of some tornadoes as they were written by this gentleman back a long time ago. Um, Patrick, if you would in the chat, tell them what it's about, and then I'll read some of them because. Ooh, golf balls? Ooh, that ain't cool. Golf balls hurt. Yeah, what's the name of the book so that I'm not being that I'm not I don't want to get caught for plagiarizing copyright or anything like that. Yeah, I couldn't even find it. But I don't yeah. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, those suckers hurt. Yeah, did you see the kind of while Patrick's typing there? Um, yeah, I think it was Connor yesterday took a baseball to the shoulder. It was funny because the video was like he slowed motion. Boy, he was like, "Oh, ow, that hurt." Yeah. So the book is by Howard C. Key, um, published in 1960. So I'm gonna read some of these excerpts because they are okay. Where did they go? Where did they go? Oh, hell, now I've lost them. Dang it! Where did it go? I'll just do it this way. The PDF will open it up on my phone. Oh, come on. Open up. There we go. All right. So the first one is these are tall tales. It says, "Don't argue with a tornado. Tornadoes, once they have settled down to business, don't like to be crossed." J. Max Pullen of Rensselaer, Indiana, tells the story of Jim Bohannon, owner of a general merchandise store in Dixon, Missouri. Bohannon was working in a near front of the store when the twisting wind hit nearby. The suction broke out the plate glass windows and was slurping merchandise out of the store faster than Bohannon could ever hope to put it back. He saw a bundle of brooms rushing by and reached out and grabbed them. As he did so, a handsaw on the shelf, a handsaw flew off the shelf and sawed his thumb off. The moral of the story to Mr. Pullen is, don't argue with a tornado. Tornadoes with a flair for the dramatic. They are drama queens. Yesterday was dramatic. I'm telling you. I have talked to only one person who was actually lifted off his feet and transported by a tornado. Colonel William Porter. He tells a graphic story of a tornado that lashed Cisco, Texas on April 18th, 1893. When he and his wife were preparing to eat supper, they were disturbed by a few bursts of hail the size of baseballs. Shortly after this display stopped, they could hear an awful roar and crackling, kind of like a big frying pan full of hot grease. We all know that sound, guys. We all know that bacon, we call it bacon rain. Yeah, hot grease. They rushed out to the front porch and they saw the tornado not far away. It looked like a great dark green watermelon, upended and dragging along the ground. He and Miss Porter watched it in fascination for several minutes before they realized it was coming toward them fast. They ran into the front room of their house just as the wind sucked Mr. Porter struck. Mr. Porter yelled to his wife to crawl under the bed. About this time, he found out that instead of running toward the back of the room, he was, as he intended, he was waving his arms and legs somewhere in midair. Seconds later, he slammed into some objects that felt like a wire fence. Then he heard music and decided he was either dead or dying. It was their new player piano, the kind that had to be pumped with foot pedals. The suction of the storm had somehow started it going, and it was appropriately playing Nearer God to Thee, a musical roll that happened to be in place when the storm struck. Both Mr. Porter and the piano were lodged in the branches of a big pecan tree about 50 yards from his house and had to be helped down by neighbors, but neither was much damaged. This incident argues for a certain artistic quality in the tornado's nature. That's pretty hilarious. That's some, I'm going to save them because there's a whole bunch more there, guys. Just some fun. Just some fun little stories there of tornadoes and through the years. Yeah. Very dramatic. Yes, yesterday was very dramatic. But guys, I really appreciate everybody being here. We got 13 folks, 27 likes. We've been on the air for 3 hours now. Where in the world has the time flown? Seems like I just started, but it is really super dark out here. I am the only one out in my yard. I've got my dogs are laying out and around somewhere. Crickets are cricketing. And it's a good, joyful noise. And that bug is actually still here. Really kind of cool looking. Wished I'd taken a picture of it when it was daylight. He's kind of red and black, got big, nice antennas. It's sitting right next to me. Hasn't moved. Hasn't bothered me. But yeah, those are Patrick sent those to me and kind of said, yeah, maybe you could say these on the on a Fireside chat. Kind of a breaker. You run out of material, and I'm kind of out of material right now. I think we've had a very good. I think this has probably been one of the better Fireside chats. I mean, a lot of dialogue. That's what I want, folks. I need. I want you guys to understand it. A lot of times I feed off of you guys when it comes to material, because I don't, I have my opinions. I have what I want to say. Like, tonight was probably one of those nights where we just needed to get all that out in the open, because the more you hold that stuff in, the worse it gets. And people don't understand, there are two sides to every story. There's, right and wrong, whatever. But there's a lot going on in our world, and if we don't talk about it as human beings, we're never going to get anything solved. And it's okay to disagree. It's okay to feel the way you feel. It's okay to speak your mind, because that's what dialogue is all about. And I miss sitting down and saying, you know what? I want to know what your feelings are, because I care enough that if I care enough to ask, then it's legitimate. I'm legitimately asking you, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on today's? I didn't get a chance to watch much of the chasing today. What are your thoughts? those of you that watched everything, all right, Jim, I know you were in Storm Runner Medias, and I know they ended early. Seemed like. What are your all thoughts on the way? And I'm not slamming the National Weather Service, but they've been wrong a lot. What are your thoughts on how things are going? Are they going pretty good weather-wise? I mean, are we nailing the enhanced risk? To me, I didn't see an enhanced risk going at all today. Um, but it did. I don't know as if they got everything. I don't know if there were. I'm sure there had to have been tornadoes. Yeah, I think you're right, Patrick. I know what is it is the HRRR has been kind of wonky, but you know there's some other things. I think it's just been a weird year. Um, you need a vacay. I need a vacay. Um, Matter of fact, I'm going to have me a week's vacation coming up in the last part of July. I got to wait till after the 4th of July. I've got to get that all put in. I'll have about nine days vacation. I've got 88 hours to play with. Hey, we got some raccoons somewhere. I hear them over the crickets. And then I'll probably take another vacation somewhere in August. I gotta use all my vacation time before August, or I lose it. I've got like 88 hours or 80 hours or something like that left, so it's kind of hard because I never take a vacation during the winter time, just because. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but I got some very angry raccoons. Can you all hear those? Patrick, I wished I could. Um, I wished I had the money to do that. I would love to. They're just going crazy, and that's just right across the street. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not, but there's a couple raccoons that are just getting crazy. Hush. Uh, yeah, no, there's some raccoons, and they were just chattering. I mean, just loud. Not like they were fighting or nothing. Like, well, maybe they were. I don't know. Boy, they were vocal. I haven't heard raccoons like that close in a long time. We do have deer on the property. That's kind of cool. We've had 2 or 3 deer in our back pasture. Are you Crass? No, you're Marcy. Hmm. I don't think you're Crass. I don't think so. I've been accused of a lot of things, and I don't think that's one of them. And then they quit. They took off. They got scared. I have not been, Patrick. I didn't even know anything about it. RRFS. Huh. No, I have not. I'll have to look into it when I get my internet back on at the house. I don't have internet at the house, guys. Can't afford it right now. that's cool. I'm glad to see, they're coming up with these new models, because a lot of the models actually I'm finding are just like, why are they even there? Why do they even put these out there? Yeah, might have. I'm sure they're still around. I think they're just laying low. 'Cause my dogs are actually being very quiet right now. Being very, very quiet. Oh, that one I have heard. I have heard people talking. I think I've heard people talking about it. Um, but I haven't looked at it. Oh, I hear Jet. Where's he at? Sorry, guys. I hear a jet, and I got to find out where they're at, because usually when one goes on the short run, there's two more behind him coming in on the long run. I got to pay attention to where they are. Sometimes they do that. uh, well, let's see, Marcy. As old as we are, yeah, none of that matters. It don't matter. Guys, the fire's slowly drifting off. I'm gonna let her fly tonight. If we get any kind of rain, it'll put it out. I'm not. God dang it! I don't know why it does that. Exactly, Joe, and always remember that, man. When somebody's pointing at you, there's three pointing right back, and they're painting that kettle very black. You know. Yep. Yep. I have learned from my past. That's the thing. That's the thing, also, guys. Is you know if you make a mistake, it's a mistake. If you do it again, it's on you. You should have learned from your mistakes. There's a great saying out there. You know, uh, and it's not even a saying. It's just something that I've just always tended to. And I try to instill when I talk to everybody. I said, as long as you're like at work. I'll use work as an example because it's about the closest thing I can come to it. People say, well, this person's not doing something, or they did it wrong. I'm like, okay, if they did something wrong, let's teach them how to do it right. And once they get it right, then we'll move on to whatever else. As long as you learn from your mistakes, you get a speeding ticket, you learn not to speed. Don't do it again, you'll get another ticket. That ticket might be a little bit bigger than the last one. But if you're learning from your mistakes, you're moving forward in life. You're moving forward in knowledge. You're gaining traction. You're moving. And so you just, welcome back. Welcome back. Do I do meteorology? Who is that directed to? I do not do meteorology for a living. I actually work at a retail big box home improvement place. I cannot say their name or I would be in trouble because they do not support me. But we do chase. Tammy and I are I call ourselves storm chasers. Now, people probably would disagree with me that I'm a couch chaser and all of that, and I'm a part-time chaser, but hey, I chase lightning. I chase whatever is out there, including the dogs. Um, but I call myself a chaser because I'm out there, documenting and trying to chase and see what happens. Um, But no, I am not a meteorologist. What I know right now is what I've learned in the last year and a half. I've learned to read models. I've learned kind of self-taught. Nobody's sat down. I never went to school to learn it. I started watching others and listening to others and kind of picking off, gleaning from their knowledge on how to do things and doing a lot of YouTube, learning. I mean, gosh, I've learned how to read photographs off of YouTube. You know, I've learned how to read, some of the other, what to look for in some of the models and what models to use and what they actually mean and stuff like that. So yeah, I do listen to Professor Garrett on when he's doing his things. Very informational. Some of it's way over my head. Um, yeah, it is. I guess, yeah. I guess you could call me a hobbyist. Um, Mine's a little bit more than that. I think I want to believe it is because I don't get to chase all the time. I don't, I can't run to the plains. I can't do those things that those guys are doing. So yeah, I'm a part-time chaser. I chase when I can, and when I can, we're out running around. Go chase lightning bolts. We've done that a time or two. Hey, Julie, welcome back. Yeah, no, I mean, and it is. It is very. It's a wonderful hobby. I mean, whether you chase or not, or at least you got knowledge. You know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but that's the God, say it 10 times. Meteorology. That's what he went to school for. So he understands. He understands the mathematics. Noble, Oklahoma. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna read this off. Hang on, I gotta find it because I get these. I get actual live updates now from the National Weather Service on my phone of wherever there's a tornado warning in the United States. So there is a tornado warning in Noble, Oklahoma. It just popped up. Remains in effect until 11:15 p.m. Central Daylight for southeastern Noble County in Noble, Oklahoma. At 11:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Morrison, moving east at 65 miles per hour. Let me go read that. Source, it is radar indicated. We all know the impacts, flying debris, and dangerous caught in the shelter. Mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed. Da, 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 da. Locations impacted include Morrison. Take cover now. Move to a storm shelter, safe room, or an interior room. Lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. Yada, yada, yada. We all know what that means. So I'm going to go find out exactly where that is because that might be coming my way, guys. I'm not in chat. I'm having fun. Oh. No. Wow. There is actually 1, 2, 3 tornadoes. Ponca City, Pawnee, Stillwater. It's over in that area. That is a line of storms. Are just south of Arkansas City. Man, those haven't moved. Headed towards Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ever so slowly. Those are all in Oklahoma. However, I will say this. Bentonville and Fayetteville are in a severe thunderstorm watch for another 4 hours. If that line should get to us, which I think they said it was supposed to, but it ain't going to be until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning if it even gets here. That's what I'm saying is all these storms lately is just been stupid. We get a little rain shower here and there, and like, why did it have to rain? Now we truly are in a sauna. Yeah. Yep. Today would have been Mom's 100th birthday. No, I'm just kidding. Damn it, I'm gonna get slapped here a little bit for that one. Nah. Yep. Yep. She is a wonderful woman. Truly was an amazing woman. Saw a lot of stuff in her life. Yeah, Joe, I'm gonna tell you when it comes to parents, man, until you've lost one, I want everybody to know this, and I'm gonna say it right now. If you have mom or dad, son, brother, sister, doesn't matter, aunt, uncle, in-law, outlaw, if they're in your house, love on them. Cherish every moment you got, because once they're gone, there's no going back. All you then have is a memory, and I hope them memories are always good, always good. Um, it just, man, I will say this, not to bring it down or anything, but this Father's Day just wasn't Father's Day for me. Lost my dad a couple years ago now. Uh, Scattered him out pretty much about a year ago, coming up, matter of fact. Um, so, yeah, neighbor across the street cleaning out his shed. But, you just, I don't care. Take every moment you have, make a memory, make a lasting memory in a good way. Make it funny, take a picture of it, and enjoy it for the rest of your life, because that's all you got. That's all you got. I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to get too bogged down in this whole thing, guys. We're gonna end the stream probably. I'm going to say it now. Probably lose everybody, but we're gonna turn this thing off at about 11:30, because I'm absolutely getting ate up out here. I got bug juice. I got about 3 layers of off on me. I smell like citronella or whatever's in off. Um, and got about 10, 15 minutes left, 14 minutes. But yep, love you too, Joe. Love everybody on here, man. I mean, this is actually let me give me some feedback here, guys. What do you all think of? Oh wow, what is that? Hey, oh hey, I didn't know this was on there. Wow, it is there. So, before I ask the question, did you know that right next to the chat, if you're on a phone, somewhere on that screen, there is a thing that says send a gift. You can do fireworks. I don't know how it all works, but you can gift jewels, and those jewels turn into money. But you can send them, and it's kind of cool. It's like for two, looks like 2 jewels. You can send 100. I don't know. Floating heart. You can do a floating heart for 10. Kind of cool. I don't know. Okay, I got you. So you get 50 jewels for $1. Basically 20 bucks each. Okay, just another way to interact, I guess. Yep. Okay. It is there. I didn't realize it was there. But anyway, I want to let everybody know that if you go to Windancer Media's actual channel page, there is a thing called community, where you can post pictures, you can post whatever you want to, ideas, bounce things. You can. It's kind of like it's a chat room. Basically, you can chat in there. It's just for community involvement. You do have to be a subscriber to do it. That's not my rules. That's their rules. That's YouTube's rules. Because I already checked it out, and you do have to be a subscriber to the channel. But you can post anything from if you know a screenshot of a chase or whatever. I posted a bunch of stuff on there today about just kind of what's going on and that. I do have some really cool news. I'm not going to divulge it yet, but it's a cliffhanger. Um, you will know when I talk about it, and I think you guys will be excited. It's going to be a smart move for us, um, and for the state of Arkansas. I'm going to leave it there because I have not been fully vested yet, but it's coming, and we haven't done all of the hoopla of what it takes. So that's the cliffhanger. Um, Still working on a graphics thing. I still gotta save the money. We've thought about that, and like I said, once things roll along here, I think things for the channel are actually going to be a lot better. Um, so we're just waiting on the IRS to approve things and stuff like that. I can't divulge what it is right now because it's not in my wheelhouse to do so. It's not my place yet. Let's see, what other news? We had a storm the other day. Got some really cool structure type stuff. Posted it on Twitter. It was kind of cool. Kind of some structure, fun stuff. But we haven't really had any storms, so to speak. I mean, we've had a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain. Had some incredible lightning. A lot of flooding. But so that's kind of the new stuff on the page. That's kind of why I did the vertical, because I wanted to see what the gifting was. You can still do super chats, super stickers, and course members and gift members and stuff like that. But this is just kind of another little thing. There's a little present box right next to chat if you're on your phone. Notice it there. I just happened to notice it. Yeah, Ryan went to bed. He's got to be up at O'Dark-100 in the morning, and I'm kind of letting it die down. We got about 9 minutes left of the stream, and that. Yep, there's a choo-choo back there. We're about probably maybe a mile away from the railroad tracks. Hey Joe, cool, almost a year. Yeah, wow. Congratulations, and thank you for supporting the channel as being a two-step member for 11 months. I really do appreciate that. Really does help. I have pretty much decided that as far as doing anything memberships, until I get more members, until I get more, the thing is with YouTube is you gotta grow the channel. And when there's not anything to do, it's really hard to grow the channel. So as far as membership, I'll throw pictures and videos and stuff out there as they happen. But that's why I really haven't done a whole lot, because I've only got I've only got 13 actual members. Marcy, Cowboy Cha-Cha, 11, 13 months. Holy smokes, look at that. Thank you so much, Marcy. Big old, let's see if I can come up with it. We'll throw some big old W's in there. If you remember, you can do this. Dunk. For you guys. Yeah, boy. I know what I'm going to be doing. Working. What I'm going to be doing. But, yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Gumby. Great to have you here. I know you came over, you were over in Ty's stream earlier. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks, guys, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and kind of start wrapping things up. Thank you, moderators, for being here and looking out for the channel. I know it got kind of ugly there at the very beginning of the stream. Trying to be nice. Open it up to the general public, no subscribers, and they started. I don't want to say it politely. They started pissing on me, and I pissed back, and that's why I had the subscriber on, because that actually does take care of a lot of that. And they took off, bunch of trolls. I ain't gonna put up with the people trying to tell me what to do and how to do my stream and stuff like that. But I think overall, I think tonight's stream was very successful. We got 32 likes, got 12 folks still in the stream. Appreciate every one of you for being here tonight. Didn't have to be taking the time out just to hang out and talk about heat advisories. So if you don't know by now, heat advisories does kill. It's the number one. Actually, it's the number one killer in the state of Arizona. Literally, I think last year, even though they say it's a decline, there were still 650 people lost their lives to heat exhaustion. You can't get that word out enough. I don't care where you're at. It's going to hit. It's going to hit somebody, and you need to know what to do and be prepared for it, and how to prevent yourself from succumbing to those symptoms, because they sneak up on you. You may not know it. It's kind of like a bad sunburn. You don't know it until you're a lobster, and then you're hurting and in a hospital. Heat exhaustion is a lot like that. You really don't want heat stroke, because that's bad juju. People usually don't survive heat strokes. But anyway, I have had heat exhaustion. I have been very close to the stroke stage myself, and so I take it very personal. Stay hydrated, especially in the days ahead. No matter where you're at, stay hydrated. If you're a chaser, stay hydrated. Believe it or not, at 60 degrees, you can still get dehydrated, and you can still, guess what? Get heat exhaustion. You still can do it. At that point, it's just dehydration, and you're in a bad situation. But that was the beginning. I wanted to open up with that. That was actually Marcy gave me that idea. So if you have anything you want to talk about, I mean, really kind of in depth, like, people weather related, yeah, put them in that community thing. Let me know, give me some thoughts. I can look everything up. I mean, I've got the paperwork here. If you want to look this stuff up, it's all I pulled it all off the National Weather Service. There's a whole thing on everything. You can actually go to, here's the pamphlets I pulled up. You can go to weather.gov/safety/heat. It will give you everything you need to know. People don't talk about it. Yeah, no, I would not be a good mayor. They would not like me. But I want everybody to be safe. When you're in a chat, be considerate to the moderators, because they have the hardest job on the planet Earth. They do not get paid for it. At least some of them don't get paid for it. Pay attention to your local news. Find out what's going on in your world. Bring it back to the table, and we'll sit and talk about it. And we're going to go from there. Thanks to my moderators. Thanks for Joe, Crystal, Marcy. As always, you guys are so faithful. Thank you all so much for being here on the channel and being a part of this great little family that we have. I know it's early. Usually we go until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. However, my phone is about to die. Well, we got 50%. But anyway, it has been a pleasure being here, having the dialogue that we had. We did talk about the riots, and it's okay. I wanted that. I think, what brought that all on, and I'm going to tell you, was shush. I was actually talking to an associate friend of mine, and I said, you know what's missing in America? And we were just talking. I said, that's it. That is exactly what's missing, is being able to talk without being ridiculed and banished and hurt. People need that. People need to be able to talk about stuff, and we can talk about whatever, whether you agree with it or not. That's cool. And that's what this channel, this part of Wind Dancer Media is all about, is being able to come on here, talk about whatever you want to, whether you agree with it or not, it's okay. Bring it to the table. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And I feed off of you guys as much as you feed off of me. So the more you get in here, the better it's really going to be. You know, because at that point, then the moderators can step in and pick and cull and do what they need to do. You know, but it is open mic as always, and you know, your opinions matter. They really do. And I wish people could understand that. Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's right. Yeah, wee woo. Yeah, I no wee woos. I think I turned that one off. We do not like the wee woo. But alrighty, guys, it is 11:30 my time. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm getting eat up by the bugs, and the bugs are loving on me right now, and I'm not liking it. They're not friendly. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining, and I will catch you on the next Fireside Chat. Bring your stuff. Bring it to the table. Don't be afraid. This is a safe place, and I want it to be that. But we'll see you either on the next chase, which I doubt is going to happen. Definitely on the next Fireside Chat. Make sure to leave a comment in the community area of the channel. It's kind of a chat room. You guys can park things. I see it. I see everything that pops in there, and it will be moderated, but it's all cool for now. Anyways, you guys have a great night. God bless, and we'll catch you on the next Fireside Chat. Have a good one. Bye-bye.